Greetings and welcome back to Switch to Linux. It is Friday. It is time for the news, and we're going to be talking about big tech antitrust. Well, of course it's antitrust. We can never trust them anyway, could we? But we're going to dive into this a little bit more. There's some articles that have been covered by The Verge this week, and of course there's been some Senate hearings and things. How's the audio? Whoa, the mic's about to fall off. I don't have a good setup yet for everything here. I'm still trying to work with all of the individual things and things. So anyway, we're going to dive into that. Before we do, let's see who's online. Yes, Toss is streaming right now too. So Toss is going. I didn't check if everybody else was on. But anyway, let's see. Supersonic is first. Hello, Mr. GFY is second. And yes, I still do have the newspaper. Right when that happened, I realized that was going to be a significant event in history. So I picked up a New York Times, a USA Today, and the local newspaper, which was, I think, the Center Daily Times. So I actually have all of those well preserved from the 9/11 attacks. So I actually have all of the newspapers. Of course, those are September 12th newspapers reporting the events of the day before. I wonder what the September 11th newspaper looked like, though. All right, let's see. Old VHS tapes. We recorded some of the news broadcasts. Not sure if I have a paper. But odd that they said it was Al-Qaeda the very next day after saying no clear enemy on the 11th. There is the most compelling thing that I've seen for the 9/11 truthers is actually a report that came out of an international panel that also evaluated everything. It was some of the most compelling evidence I've ever seen for a conspiracy cover-up. That's fascinating. I don't remember the name of the show. I'll have to look for it though. Mr. Jeff Y says it's almost kitty time. It's kitty time. Hi, Mr. Jeff Y. How are you? All right, so a cat and a penguin walk into a bazaar, and it was bizarre. All right, Shortlinks finally had a new release. It's working better than ever. Cool, I'll have to go take a look at Shark. Hello, Supersonic. Hello, Lieber. Greetings, Noah. Toss is also live. Thank you. Mike, how's it going there? Newspaper 2001, A Space Odyssey. Hal? Yep, that's right. This conversation can't serve any more purpose, Dave. All right, Pizza Loving Nerd. Pizza. How's it going, Pizza? All right, Noah's videos. So Linux Mint 19 Mate after watching all of the pizza videos about it. Cool. Yeah, is anyone having issues with Linux Mint 19, the regular one? I've had a few different people reporting some issues, which we thought was maybe NVIDIA or Secure Boot or something else, but they're saying, no, it wasn't any of those. So kind of fascinating. I don't really know what's going to go on with any of that. Stephen Myron, hello there, greetings. Oh boy, let's place my comments. All right, I had to accept those terms of service. Also, I can do programming for community service. If it's for nonprofit organizations, start a GitLab organization, use that. Actually, Pizza, what you should do is find one of the Linux distros or whatever that you really like and reach out to the community and tell them that you are a student that needs to have community service and you're allowed to do programming and stuff for them and find out what you can help them do. Rather than try and start something of your own, which probably wouldn't take off, but you could actually get in and have your actual name credited on a distro that you use. Like you're being an Arch. See if there's any Arch distribution you can go and contribute to. That would be the greatest thing you could probably do rather than try and start your own organization. You don't want to do that. Jump in and start doing something that you already really like. And that's because that's the spirit and the heart of what they want. And it's the unfortunate thing that the schools are now forcing community service on everybody because it produces, just kind of the loophole-y type stuff and you don't want to be part of that. You want to actually use it for what they want you to use it for. So rather than starting up your own thing, why don't you instead start contributing to something you use, like find an Arch distro or a desktop environment you really like, and reach out to them and find out how you can contribute for that. And I think that that'd be the way to do it. Benjamin Aldridge, greetings and hello. Main desktop. All right. Hello, Bashaholic. Greetings. Let's see, it can help you find a distro. Very cool. And Thomas Holt, hello there. Naveen, putting Ubuntu 18.04 on my MacBook. It was a great decision. Very cool, very cool. Yeah, I had to get in there and do something for a client on Mac today. It was, yeah. Anyway, Mugen, greetings, and Daniel, yo. Noah's videos have Ubuntu Mate on another drive and Windows 7. Yeah, I'd like to buy a newspaper for the fall of the Soviet Union back to the 1990s. Yeah. Okay. Can't tell you what happened on 9/11, but I can tell you what didn't happen. The official story. Oh, burn! You ever make your cat dance to music? He doesn't like it. All right. He's like, dude, don't do that to me. I'm putting up with you for kitty treats. Right, buddy? Yeah? Yeah, he's still wagging his tail. All right. The Simple Freedom from Algeria. Greetings, a hello, and a great, big, fantastic to you as well. You're the only person that can say my last name the right way. Really? Myron? Is it Myron or Miron? What did I say? Okay. Probably can. It's just which iteration. High school forces me to do community service and makes me sad. Okay, I don't know enough about programming to contribute to a distro. Ask what else you can do for them. Look at documentation. You know, see if there's graphics that need done. I mean, I'd ask. I mean, start by asking. See if there is anything for nonprofit, because that'd be a way to go. All right, well, we are going to do, I have a couple, I think I have just a couple from privacy. I just have a couple from security, and I have mostly from business today, of course, as we talk about the antitrust. So let's go ahead and start in with talking about our privacy news. So with our privacy news, we're going to start out talking about cheese danishes. What? Yes, indeed, we're talking about cheese danishes en route to Starbucks. So there was a cheese Danish, well, I mean, it wasn't really a cheese Danish shipping operation. It was a cocaine shipping operation that would take the occasional legit job as legit reasons to cross their trucks across the border. And so they were on to these potential drug smugglers, and they were trying to track out what these guys were doing. Now, they should have followed the legal route, figure out who they are, go through a federal court because it was interstate commerce, figure out a federal court, get a GPS tracking warrant, which they would have absolutely gotten. They could have put a GPS tracker. No, they decide instead to use this border sovereignty crap in order to put a GPS tracker onto this truck. So, well, they did successfully catch this truck driving organization in smuggling lots and lots of cocaine through the border via cheese Danish trucks. Eventually, a whole lot of their evidence had to be thrown away because the judge came down and said, no, you cannot warrantless put a GPS tracker on a Danish delivery truck. Yeah. This is actually good news in that it starts to finally reel in some of the sovereign immune protections that ICE seems to want to have. Like, you realize those guys can do literally anything within 50 miles of any border, or is 100 miles of any border, whatever, which basically means the entire state of Florida, most of Arizona, most of New Mexico, a small sliver of Texas, because that state's just too big, a lot of California, all the way up through the borders of Canada, all the way down, almost not too far from where I am. These guys have near sovereign immunity because they're just like, oh, we're just going to stop the terrorists. And really, they've started to abuse that power. And so it's good to see this stepping in and going, maybe we need to start reining back some of that power. All right, so next is an IBM issue. So apparently IBM, this is according to The Intercept, the IBM was using the New York Police Department surveillance footage to develop a technology that lets police search by people for skin color. Do you guys know that IBM helped develop the databases and things that the Nazis used to track people down? This is bad, IBM. This is really bad. Okay, you're just like, yeah, we're just going to use this kind of stuff so the police can track down people. Basically, we're going to create a database of people by skin color and probably other things, you know, shirt color, skin color, or whatever else, automotive, whatever. But The Intercept here reports on this. This is not good because IBM has a very checkered past when it comes to things like this, and it's not really getting any better. So this kind of started back with surveillance that started to become prominent around the time of 9/11. And at that point in time, New York Police Department just starts putting up a lot of surveillance cameras, and then they were frequently giving this data to IBM to train an artificial intelligence facial recognition software. Like I said, not good considering IBM's slightly shady past into this. Were they big into eugenics? I believe they were. In fact, a lot of groups in this country were big into eugenics until it was found out that the Nazis were also big into eugenics, and then all of a sudden, oh my God, that's horrible. Yeah, maybe the Nazi brand is not a bad thing after all. Wait, it is. Come on, don't meme that. That's a memeable thing. Yep. I can see the little gifs of me on the internet going around about that. Woohoo! Channel support. All right, and the last funny thing is Instagram has created now this Instagram for parents. This is wellbeing.instagram.com/parents. So this is a guide for parents of Instagram users to talk to their kids about it. So of course, this is one of these Facebook companies, etc. You can download a copy of the Parents Guide if you happen to be archaic and you like printing things out or reading it offline. How archaic, how parental of you. But what is Instagram? Instagram is a message you should tell your kids to delete. Let's see. The minimum age to have an Instagram account is 13. Shh, just don't tell anybody the average age is 11. But anyway, yeah. So our commitment to keeping our teens safe. Yeah, they have commitment to keep teens safe. I didn't watch this video, but I'm assuming it's horrid. Should we watch this video? I don't know. I don't have my desktop settings turned on. I don't want to do that. So, my son considers Instagram to be the key for him to relate with his peers. Your son needs a better social circle. All right. Now, this is where we get into funniness here. So, manage privacy. This is exciting. Would you like to toggle your account to private or not private? Here's what they fail to recognize here is that public account means that other people can see it publicly, but privacy is a misnomer here because the company is still collecting boatloads and boatloads and boatloads of data. It's just not available for the rest of the public to see. That's kind of what I want to focus in here on is any types of these applications. Like I tell people, it's better, even if you're watching YouTube or whatever on a phone, it's even better to not necessarily log into these various accounts on your phone because your phone collects way too much stuff. If you do need to log into YouTube on a phone, use it through a web browser, not through an application. The web browser, you can use something like Firefox where we can audit the code, but the YouTube app is closed source. So keep that in mind. But again, this is not managing privacy because the company collects a lot of data about you. And really, Facebook is on the decline. The Facebook company realizes that. Instagram is their new cash cow where it comes to data. Keep that in mind. Of course, you know, there's other things. How do you do all this kind of stuff? You know, these are all of the things that, oh, what is this? Oh, God. Why do we have to have these trendy things? Ooh, here's a 10-point discussion you can have with your children. We partner with social engineering, a social media and education expert, Anna Huanaya, whoever that is, an employee of ours, the author of Social Media Wellness. Here's wellness for social media. Tell your kids to delete it. To create a set of 10 questions you can use to guide a conversation with your teen about Instagram. Awkward. Our intention is to use these questions to learn more about your teen using Instagram and to ensure they're having a positive experience on the platform. All right, little Johnny, what do you like about Instagram? I'm not going to tell you that, Dad. You wouldn't let me use it. What do you wish I knew about Instagram? Yeah, oh, Father, I'm going to open up my heart to you on this one. What do you, child, wish I knew about Instagram? What are the top 5 Instagram accounts you enjoy following? What are some of the things you think about before posting something on Instagram? What? Think? Huh? If you have multiple Instagram accounts, what do you share in each account? How do likes and comments affect the way you feel about a My God! Do you people not realize that this is the hokey crap that nobody cares about in this world? For the love! What do you guys think about this crap? I'm done. I give up. Alright, let's see. Okay, he's wagging his tail, just biding his time. Can I be a mod for Link? No. Okay, community service. I'm a student, not a criminal. You gotta say, that is the case. Because the only time I ever had to do community service is when I was picked up by the police once, all right? Really? I mean, come on, people. Community service is like, this is for criminals, not for high school students. However, I believe that the school system is very much like institutionalization, so it makes sense. Why not? All right. Just downloaded a ROM from Mario Maker to play on my PC with an emulator. I already own it, so it's not pirating. Very good. Very cool. Awesome. Note to self, buy a Danishes in bulk. No, don't buy Danishes in bulk. You'll be raised for suspicion. Bad people come in all colors. Yeah, what website is he reading off of? I don't know. I will have links up there eventually. I try and post these links on my website, but I didn't have a chance for the last couple weeks. I've been so slammed with projects. I'm going to be working until like 3 in the morning again tonight, and I probably won't take tomorrow off either. All right, let's see. They also help set the social security numbering system. Children should be banned from social media. I agree. I absolutely agree, MG-to-Loner. Completely agree. Pizza, bite your tongue. What? Oh, which one? Maybe the Soviet brand isn't bad after all. Maybe it's the North Korean brand that isn't after that bad. James Miller, good readings, and hello. Probably see Social Security when you get old. I don't know, man. I won't see Social Security when I get old. Crap, I use the YouTube app. All right, the first time I told my friends I didn't have social media because of privacy, they thought I was paranoid. America isn't worried about communism anymore, so it's fine. Social media is now the norm. A dumb, but norm. Yep. Fascism's still a worry, though. V-Quicks. Okay. I'm just getting into Linux. What is the best way to go if I have to run a Windows application? It really depends. If it is one of the Windows applications that runs under Wine, I'd install Play on Linux and see if you can get it working. There's also Vulkan, which I've not used, so I can't comment on. If it's something you need just occasionally, and you have a good enough computer, you might spin up Windows in a VirtualBox, so you can use it over there. It really kind of depends on what Windows application it is you're trying to run. So let us know that and how frequently you need to run it. It might be a case where you have a Windows running on a separate hard drive specifically for a certain task. Nothing wrong with any of that. Is some content requires you to log in to watch, even stuff that is kid-friendly? Got to log in to watch Steve Krauser because stuff is not age-appropriate, of course. Anybody with common sense. I mean, I've only watched a few of his things, but I know for the most part, I kind of like some of the things he says. His isn't the only channel it's happening to, yeah. If I had a kid, how would you? If you had a kid, how would you raise him? I think I've talked a lot of that kind of stuff because I've mentored a lot of kids over the years. You need to set rules and boundaries at the front. You can't be, particularly from a Christian perspective. We find this a lot in the Christian world. Like a friend of mine is getting in the music field, and they wanted to go out and film a little music video. And they had a friend who did some photography, and they went out and did their little filming music video thing. Well, of course they're young, so they didn't think about all of the thises and that's. And one of his friends, he's like, oh yeah, that sounds cool, I'll be in it. Well, he was like 16 maybe, and the kids' parents were from this like overly zealous, overly religious background, and said, oh, how dare you? You can't do that. And they literally, there was no conversation, there was no anything. They said, if you publish a music video of my son, we're going to sue you. What? You're a zealous religious nut. Okay? You don't want to be that person. One of the kids I mentored, his older sister would have nothing to do with anything related to God. I was the only person in this world who could talk to her about anything related to God. And even that was few and far between. Because her overzealous grandmother decided one day that her collection of statue dragons, like dragon statuines and figurines and angel figurines, was a demonic and of the devil. And when she was at school one day, her and her friends went into the house and threw away all the stuff and then tried to drag her off for a brain cleaning thing at the church with a bunch of overzealous whack job lunatics who like watching the 700 Club. Holy crap, that's insanity. You can't do that. But you have to say, based upon my faith, these are rules that we have for the house, and you got to stick with them. And so when you set those boundaries up front, you care about them, you communicate with them. And the biggest thing for parents listening, particularly parents of younger kids, do not talk at your children, talk with your children. Even when they're as young as 10. I remember sitting down with the one kid, he was like 10 at the time, and we'd read stories, and we would just get flat out silly. One point in time, he had this like fake dog poops. We're throwing fake dog poop, all that thing, and it was a good experience to just sit down, talk with a kid on the kid's level, silly or not. Because if you do that when they're young and they grow up through the difficulties of the teen years, they are more open to talk with you about things if they know that every time you bring something up, you're not just going to talk at them, you're going to talk with them. You're going to help them digest the problem, and they can come to their own solutions as long as they know they have somebody in their corner. And that's really the thing you have to do. You have to maintain, and we swing too far. You got to be a parent or you got to be a friend. And we keep swinging between these two pendulums from generation to generation, between too passive as a friend or too rigid as a parent. You have to be in the middle. And it's possible to be in the middle. And that's really what you got to do. I think that's what I want to say about that. Got to log in to prove one's age. Yeah. Yep. I got to log in to prove that that I'm over 18 because I wrote that. A guy friend was hanging out with his girlfriend. And they were talking about prom dresses. Her prom dress was an ad on Insta on his account. Yep, sounds like it. All right. Does Amazon give my data to Facebook? I understand others do. I do not know if Amazon and Facebook share data with each other. I don't know. Actually, between Detroit and Battle Creek, Michigan, driving a truck when it all happened. Oh, boy. Okay, I don't think children should be banned from the internet. I just think they should be required for social media for the test whether people are mature enough. Yeah, maybe. Some weird stuff going on. Yep. What is MT4? Lightweight's program. Oh, it is MT4. I don't know anything about... Oh, MetaTrader. Okay, so you're using MetaTrader. I don't know what to say about that one. I'm not sure. You might check WineHQ if it runs. If it runs on Wine, you can do that. Actually, you can check out... It's winehq.org. You can just type that into the search for applications, and they'll tell you if it runs or not on Windows or on Linux with Wine. Call about 10 minutes later to top off the tanks as to possible fuel spike. Wow. Pentecostal psychopaths are the worst. Amen to that. Crowder is the double standard because the Young Turks have all kinds of videos of them cussing up storms available for all ages. Yep. My mom thinks Batman is satanic. Help me, please. Dude, if you are a minor in your parents' house, you are going to have to tackle that with love and care and respect. But you also have to recognize that you might have to have some trade-offs. You ultimately have to obey your parents. You can have a conversation. You can attempt to convince them otherwise. But if they say no, Batman remains of the devil, then that means you cannot watch Batman. And you are doing wrong even if you're watching it at somebody else's house unless your parents give you explicit permission. You have to obey your parents in the things. Trust me, it's not worth disobeying your parents, causing a lot of strife over a fictional character who wears his underwear on the outside of his pants. Okay? Hello, Joe Johnson. Greetings. I'd hold my breath when paying does not say my real thoughts on what just happened. All right. Do you prefer kids have real heroes, not imaginary ones? Yep. Watch Somebody Will Call Me Now because I'm in a chat stream. Probably. How do you get a warning about a fuel spike? Yeah, being a parent is having a good leather belt and know how to use it to discipline your child. Just received this on notification that SwitchedtoLinux is on. Well, welcome. Welcome. T4 is a Microsoft Windows distro. I think he's talking about MT4, MetaTrader 4. Good luck with Wine, and certain games have few simple apps for Windows. servers. All right. Let's go ahead and jump on over to the, you know what? Let's go ahead and do security next. I just have two articles in security. All right, so first, Chrome has a new password manager that stops you from using the same password for every website. Now, I have mixed feelings about this. We'll get into a little bit more about some of the things Chrome is doing that I'm not a big fan of as we get in here, but for the most part, I think this is ultimately a bad thing because it should be my choice whether I use the same password or not. Giving me a warning, fine, but telling me no, you can't do this is problematic because there may be very good, legit reasons to use the same password for different services or websites. Albeit it's a rare fringe case use, and you should have different passwords, but ultimately it's my choice. It's like Ubuntu. Ubuntu, if you try and change the password in the GUI, if it's considered what Ubuntu thinks is too weak of a password, you can't use that password. Now, if you change the password in the terminal, it doesn't care. But that to me is a problematic thing because Ubuntu, this is my computer. I need to decide what is the level of security I want in this thing. I might just be doing some stupid test machine that I'm going to have to enter the password 5 times. If I want to have the letter A as a password, you should not restrict me from doing that. All right, so that's kind of the way I feel about it. It is a bad idea to use the same password over and over. The ultimate reason why is because if somebody knows the email that you use for a variety of services and they know your password, if they compromise one website, they can utilize that password on any other website. All right. And so for that, it's a bad reason. But I'm against anything that tells me I can't do something because it thinks that I don't know what I'm doing. Excuse me, I'm not incompetent when it comes to computers. And believe it or not, I may know more about what I'm doing than the program does. But regardless, it does have this new password manager that will give you a hissy fit if it sees you using the same password. Because yes, we all know that Google and Chrome needs to be sovereign over your password choices. All right, and other one in security, there is this unpatched routers. Now, these are actually being used in a lot of bigger services. A lot of schools are running them, which is scary because schools are not necessarily up to date on the technology. Government contracts using these. Basically, it's a type of unpatched router that is being used in malware to spy on a variety of networks. So basically using them to hack into networks and spy on things. So Latvian is the company, if you happen to be using any of these types of routers in any application, make sure they're completely patched or whatever else. So just a little security bulletin for now. Alrighty. Same time these miners, what happens when you are a bricklayer at your parents' house? So you've called about 10 minutes after it happened from my company to top off the tank because fuel might jump due to the attack. Oh, wow. Yeah. So someone told me to try Wine to run Windows apps on Linux, but after the 5th glass, I forgot what else I was doing. Yep. Well, you see, you had too many glasses. Friar Dismissayer, greetings. How's it going there? I'm guessing that's Friar. All right, evening to you. Now you will forget your passwords. Yeah, I don't use password managers where I don't have to, so I don't forget my passwords. Personally, I think it was our government that did it. Someone wants to use 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 their password. I say let them take the risk. Yep. Problem is I can't remember a million passwords. Yep. You said you were on one of those planes, weren't you? As in reference to your comment about not feeling right today. I concur, or are they at least helped along? 100 people got sick on a flight. I saw that, yeah. I don't think there's been a security patch for my Linksys router for 4 years. I mean, my router right now is pfSense, so I know that's up to date. Stop flying because I don't want to get sexually molested by TSA agents, who, by the way, have sovereign immunity in everything they do now, by the way. Good evening, Keegan. How's it going, sir? Last time I flew was 78. Wow. Use a mind palace to remember my passwords. Is that like a Roman room, but bigger? All right, let's go ahead and jump into our feature story is last, but we're going to jump into the business part of the news. Guys, I know you've been begging for it. It's been so long, so long, but Skype is finally redoing their UI again. That is right. This is the third time in a few months because they had so much backlash for the feces they made of it last time that they finally decided we should go back and get back to the basic things people use Skype for. Shocking! Amazingly shocking! Nobody wanted to use Skype like they use... What were they using it off of? It wasn't Instagram. It wasn't WhatsApp. Was it WhatsApp? Whatever cutesy crap they were trying to do. Ooh, cutesy crap, cutesy crap. That's not why people use Skype, you morons over on Microsoft. But they finally got the cue into that. They're removing most of that feces that none of us wanted, maybe scraping the unicorn poo off the top of it, and they're regressing UI back to what it looks like in Skype Legacy. Congratulations, Microsoft. Somebody over there grew a brain. The functionality has expanded, so too has its complexity. Guys, because nobody wanted the crap you put in there. If I wanted to make little cutesy dry faces all over my things, I would have used whatever application is, and I don't even know the name of it because I don't care. I'm a business person, and I use Skype to communicate with people for business purposes. I don't need to draw cutesy little things unless it's only on my screen so I can draw the devil's horns on the moron I don't want to be talking to on the other end of Skype anyway. Actually, I can't even say that because everyone I do business with are actually friends. But it sounded great. It just sounded wonderful and controversial. But anyway, no, legitimately, I mean, all the people I use with Skype are generally friends of mine and good business colleagues. But the reality is we didn't need little impressions. We didn't need emojis. We didn't need rainbowy gradients. Woo! Makes me feel like a teenage girl. No, we wanted Skype to be Skype. They're giving it back to us. That's exactly what they're giving us. What, kitty? What? Do you have something to contribute to the Skype thing too? Do you? Yeah? You want to contribute? You want to contribute, do you? Yeah? Want to contribute? She's like, dude, I'm on camera. This is not cool. Yeah, wave hi to the peoples. Hey, peoples. That's right. Rainbow Skype sucks. But now that they're fixing it, do you think that means I'm going to install it back on my phones and devices? No. Nope. Right, kitty? Yeah? You're a cute kitty, huh? Yeah. All right. Where were we? All right. So today, I want to share our focus on simplicity. There's an asterisk in that. Can we find the asterisk that they're looking at? Where's this asterisk at the bottom of the page? Fine print. Let me read the fine print. The new design is available on the latest Skype version 8.29 on Android, iOS, iOS, Linux 7, 8, and 8.1, and other operating systems. Okay, there you go. Got all that? You know what they missed out? The new design is available on the latest Skype 8.29 for Android, iOS, OS 10, Linux, Windows 7, 8, and 8.1 operating systems. What? On Windows 10 we're stuck with unicorn poo? Really? Really? I don't know. Congratulations, Microsoft. I don't know. All right, on to insanity. If Microsoft wasn't enough sanity, Locky. This is a Kickstarter. I'll remind you, a lot of Kickstarters run off with all your money and steal all of your private data. But Locky, the first smart key overlay. You take the smart key overlay, you combine it with your key. Woohoo! 100% funded in 2 hours. Woohoo! They reached their goal. They have 253 backers who, for some reason, want this thing. All right, so, as seen on, of course, they just made a press release. You will never forget to lock the door again. All right, so here's how this thing works. It basically takes a USB key, attaches it to your other key, and then you attach a little Bluetooth thing on your door and your lock. You go in there, you put the thing in, and then it triggers your smartphone. Your door is locked. Oh, knock, knock, your door is locked. Knock, knock. Oh, knock, knock, your door is open. Knock, knock, your door is closed. Okay, so they give you this little thing, and it basically just tells you the status of the lock only the last time it was locked. Literally, if you don't use the key to lock your doors, like if you happen to have a like a deadbolt type thing, and you unlock the deadbolt, you walk in, and then you close it by hand, because like a lot of apartment complexes, by the way, you don't have the ability to lock the thing with that. It triggers the thing as still being left unlocked. So now you use the thing, it'll unlock the thing, you close the door, and now your smartphone's going to be annoying you or for all eternity because it thinks you've left your door unlocked. I kid you. This has got to be the stupidest smart technology I've ever seen in my life. So basically, okay, master key compatible, it unlocks door alerts. If your door has not been locked, it alerts your smartphone. Oh, Lord. Oh, Lord. I just want to know what type of data this thing collects. So here it is. So you take your key, which of course must perfectly be matched with this. By the way, you can't make a key with just anything. I have a hard time believing that any key that I own, except maybe the key to my gun safe, would actually fit into that thing. You can't just go to the store and get a key with a circular top. When you make a key, the little top designs are actually standardized, and they don't look like that. So virtually extremely... Wait, okay, oh God, I didn't read this. All right, hackability, smart locks, virtual key, extremely hackable. Real key, impossible to hack. Entry threshold, complicated mechanical installation which requires time, tools. Simple key overlay in a mobile app with no mechanical installation. It takes 1 minute to start using it. Habits, necessary to change your everyday routine. Say goodbye to your key. No need to change the way you use your lock or your door. Except if you don't lock the thing the same way you unlock the thing, it's going to keep annoying you that thinks your door's unlocked. Man. This is a bad news day. It's getting my hair all wound up. Cost starts $150. Early bird reward from $39. $199 after that. How it works. Forget about forgetting to close the door. Oh, please work on your grammar. Forget about forgetting to close the door. It happens best of us. With Locky, you won't ever start wondering if you've locked your door again. An instant unlock door notification will let you correct your mistake before you manage to walk away from the house. Yeah, oh my God. Yeah, I go in there to take something out of the car and my phone's just going to have a hissy fit because I left the door unlocked. Locate your keys anytime if you can't find them. Here's the thing, I don't lose my keys because there's a hook right inside my door to put them. Shocking. Shocking. Minimalism has its thing. Everything owns a place. Calm your mind. Check your door status anytime. By the way, the smart lock at least tells you a true door status. This app tells you the status that it thinks your door is based upon if you use the key in it or not. Never leave your keys in the lock again. Oh, the full history of the lock status on your phone. So some moron who's a hacker can kind of see the status and the history when your door's locked and unlocked. They can hack into this and figure out a time you accidentally keep the door unlocked or when it's unlocked on a regular basis to sneak in your house and kill you. Lord. Get notified if and when your child... Well, I hope your child gets home. We have become a society of crazy people. Oh, Lord. More insanity. More insanity. Google wants to kill the URL. Okay. Web designer's perspective. Of course, the URL is the thing at the top. You can go to SwitchedtoLinux.com. You land on Switch to Linux. Google says, man, these URLs are problematic. And let's see if I can find their statements here. They want to grapple with a big conceptual problem. Let's see, from popularizing auto updates, for aggressively promoting HTTPS web encryption, which it was a bad idea, by the way. Just because it says secure and not secure does not mean it's malware-free or has malware. Okay? Just an FYI. This entire thing that Google has been doing to force every website to have an SSL, it's been a nightmare. It's been an absolute nightmare. And it doesn't really help. A majority of websites don't need HTTPS. Okay? My basic website for my web design business does not need an SSL, people. I collect no information. There is no whatever. And an SSL is hackable, people. But anyway, uniform research locators is what URL means, are the familiar web addresses you use every day. They are listed in the web's DNS address and book and direct browsers to the right internet protocol address that identify and differentiate web servers. In short, you have to navigate to wired.com to read Wired, so you don't have to manage complicated routing protocols and strings of numbers. But over time, URLs have gotten more difficult to read and understand. For who? Incompetent retards? My lord! What? URLs have become more difficult to read and understand. Derp! What? 63.64.68.425 is so much easier to remember, people! Oh, for the love of God. There's nothing complicated about a URL. Yeah, there's some problems. You can actually hijack, essentially looks like hijacking a URL by putting other things in there. I could do WLRED.com and it might almost look like Wired.com. But you know what? Rather than attacking how everybody can read and understand a website, maybe they should start attacking browser protocols that hide the URL bar like Edge. Or a lot of your mobile browsers. Or things that cut the thing off like, ooh, we need to get rid of these URLs because some web browsers don't have enough length in the URL bar to display the whole thing. Well, that's a pretty easy UI fix. It's a whole lot better than changing the entire way the internet works. For a bunch of engineers relating to an internet company at Google, they seem to be a bunch of morons. I'm telling you what. They did it, they made me go on fire. I'm telling you. This is a company that has effectively changed and altered and adjusted the entire internet. Internet protocol addresses, IP addresses, are not memorable in the slightest. I have had the same IP address connected to my business for 2 years now, and I don't know what it is. I gotta look it up. I can recognize it, I can spot it, I vaguely know what it is. I could probably write it down, give it enough time, but I don't know what it is. But I know it almost every site that I own, for sure. I know the URLs. Everything points correctly. Everything's good. It seems like a really bad thing to try and change the entire internet. Every way we used to get rid of everything. All of it. All because, A, browser UIs don't allow enough space for the URL bar. Or B, moron doesn't check the URL before clicking on a link. It seems like there's better solutions than changing the entire way the internet works. My God, Google, you are supposed to be full of intelligent people. Why are you behaving like morons? For the love. All right, let's keep going. As web functionality has expanded, URLs have increasingly become unintelligible strings of gibberish, combining components from third parties or being masked by link shorteners and redirect schemes, and on mobile devices there isn't room to display much of a URL at all. Let's address these little concerns. What? I got two cats over here, one sitting here meowing, the other one's just staring at me like he's lost his ever-loving mind. Yes, kitty, I've lost my ever-loving mind. Deal with it. Google made me do it. All right? Google made me do it. All right. Web functionality is expanded. URLs, they become increasingly unintelligible strings of gibberish. Not really. Sure, I get link shorteners, and I use link shorteners, by the way. Maybe what we need to do is recognize that, you know, different people can do link shorteners. So if you see any link in my descriptions or anything that are tlm.li, that is my link shortener. I actually have two. The other one doesn't get used much. That is my link shortener that I own, control, and host. All right. It stands, TLM stands for Think Life Media, which is my overarching brand, which combines all of my channels. ThinkLifeMedia.li, Think Life Media link. But as a URL shortener, the reason I put that in is YouTube videos do not like long URLs. They like short ones. URLs are great. Link shorteners are not used to redirect you to the home page of a website, which is essentially what Google is arguing to get rid of. Okay, but instead, a link shortener is used to redirect you to the internal of a page or something complicated, like the URL stuff on Amazon. Hey, cat, would you shut up? Would you shut up? Yeah, would you shut up? Come here. Come here. Here, sit here, meow into this, and we'll see if people can listen to me and you at the same time. All right? But you just need to shush. I'm trying to talk, okay? I'm trying to talk. You be quiet. You be quiet. See, you got this kitty twice today. All right, let's see if she'll hang out. All right. They becoming strings of gibberish, combining components from third parties. I don't know of any way to combine things with components from third parties other than the crazy link shorteners that redirect you to ads first. Or being masked by link shorteners, we've addressed that, or redirect schemes. Well, whose fault is that? It's these articles that keep on doing link directors. I don't think Wired does. Let me see if there's an outside link. Wired, do you link to anything but yourself? Apparently Wired doesn't link to anything but yourself. If you go to Verge and you look at any of the links inside the Verge, they all use URL redirectors first. That is certainly a problem. Here's a simple solution. Why don't you develop a web standard where people stop using them? Use link shorteners for things that link shorteners should be used for, not for absolutely everything out there. All right. And on mobile devices, there isn't room to display much of a URL at all. Well, that's not a problem. There are ways around that as well. The resulting opacity has been a boon for cybercriminals who bring malicious sites to exploit the confusion. They impersonate legitimate institutions, launch phishing schemes, hawk malicious downloads, and run phony web services, all because it's difficult for web users to keep track of who they're dealing with. Well, people, that has to do with the users on the web. It's a very simple solution. Teach people to look at URLs. My God, this thing is like, I should do an entire thing on this article. This is just stupidity. But anyway, Google's looking to destroy the internet as we know it. I don't know. Let's have a vote. Who's destroying the internet first? Google or Asian Pie? Oh, Lord. Oh, man, it would have been so much better if our Asian Pie article was next. But it's not. There's one more first. Oh. A former NASA contractor is arrested on charges alleged hacking and online threats made to obtain nude photos of female victims. This was an interesting scheme, and it could have very well been in the security section as well. In fact, it probably should have been either security or privacy. In fact, I meant to move it over there, and I forgot to. So, here's what this guy did. You know how a lot of websites are now making you enter security questions? People, do not, I repeat, do not use real information for those. You need to keep track of what those are and use gibberish garbage for every website. How do I know that one company is not behind all of these and they're secretly collecting all of the data? I have, since the very first time I've seen those things, I have never answered them with the exact thing. Like, well, your mother's maiden name. Well, that's become the stupidest one because everybody's maiden name can be findable on Facebook. Yeah. All right. So we have to be careful of that kind of stuff. So what this guy did, it was a multi-tiered thing. One of the things that he did is he basically did random polls alleging that he was working on a course. He had a human societies class, in which case he would ask questions. He would ask questions like, utilizing true identities. So I think he said on a series of Facebook posts or various other things for his Human Societies class, typical questions to reset passwords. What's the name of your first pet? What city did your parents meet? All these kind of things. So he asked all these things in this non-threatening way and then was able to turn this around, access these people's accounts with all of the password reset data that they had graciously given him. And in some cases, he managed to steal inappropriate photographs. Other places at least gave some indication that he may or may not have had them. And then he was using that information to obtain more nude photos, as sextorting them, as it were, all because he responded to this type of stuff. So here's a tip for you guys. If any random person's doing a project in his humanities classes and wants to know what your first pet's name was, tell him none of your beeswax, boy. But number two, never use real information on those. And if you have any of that real information on any of these types of accounts, you go into those accounts today and change those to random gibberish crap that you can write down. All right? That's very important because this crap happens. Guys, we got to learn to protect ourselves. The world ain't not going to protect us as much. All right? All right, so now let's get into some of these. Mr. Asia Pie himself. So in light of all this that's been going on, we're kind of going to work backwards here. In light of all that's been going on this week with the Senate and with Google and Facebook and Twitter and Alex Jones and other lunatic Fruit Loops all over the place, Asia Pie wants to suggest new rules for all these big companies except the ISPs. Except the ISPs. Oh, we don't want to interfere with the ISPs. No. We got to leave the ISPs alone, man. Leave the ISPs alone. But basically, Asia Pie's like, we need to regulate Google. We need to regulate Facebook. We need to regulate this company and that company. They're getting too big and all these. Guys, Asia Pie, I have exactly one choice in the 4th largest city in my very populated state. You want to talk about splitting companies up? Why don't you split up the ISPs that you're protecting rather than protecting us? You moron. They're too big. Oh, this is hilarious. You want to hear a fun Comcast story? This is great. So I get my internet bill the other day, and I get it in, and I write out the check. So I write out the check, mail it off to them. It processes through my bank 5 cents less than the check that I actually wrote. I don't know if it Comcast that made the mistake or was it the bank that made the mistake. So I go to the bank first like, hey, give them their nickel. The bank couldn't give Comcast their nickel. So of course I go down to the local Comcast office. Oh, they don't take cash. It's like, can you just take my nickel, please? Please. So of course I ended up going over there and I just paid a month in advance on the internet bill and included the extra nickel. All for a company I don't want to deal with anyway. But anyway, so he's kind of releasing information, basically goading on in response to requests from U.S. Telecom. Why are they doing this? What they're trying to do is they're trying to push all these issues back onto these companies without remembering their companies. Now, this came about because it turns out that these ISPs had a mailing list of a few people, and they sent out this big internal-only memo that went to all these ISP companies, all these big dogs, literally colluding how to pressure Congress to put more attention on the big tech companies like Google and Facebook and Amazon rather than on the ISPs. They're basically trying to capitalize or monopolize on this attention that's on the social media platforms to redirect attention down there, and whoopsies, they accidentally said it to the owner of TechDirt, or a journalist at TechDirt, whoever this guy is at TechDirt, who, of course, just by the name of his title, I'm guessing he's probably muckraker in the field of tech. The last guy that you'd probably want to send this thing to. But he was accidentally on a list of them. 13 of the 15 people were U.S. Telecom employees. The only other one was a firm that specializes in subject matter experts with in-depth legal analysis. So 14 ISPs, an in-depth firm, and a muckraking journalist. Whoops! So, of course, he published quite a bit of this. I'm not sure if he published the entire document, but he did give us a beautiful summary about privacy. They're talking, of course, about how, yes, privacy, 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 and then trying to shift all of the privacy stuff on the Facebook. Guys, let me tell you something. Facebook doesn't collect data on me anymore. I deleted my Facebook account, and then I blocked them from tracking me across the web. I could get away from them. I could get away from Google if I wanted. I could get away from Twitter if I wanted. I can't get away from Comcast because they have a monopoly. You want to talk about somebody who can collect infinite amounts of data? It's the ISP. It's the ISP. So for years, our members have embraced strong consumer privacy policies because they understand the success of any digital business depends on earning their customers' trust. Now, it's not because, notice that it's not because they value people's privacy. It's no, we want to earn their trust. We're just going to do it quietly, secretly, behind doors. Consumers and companies alike deserve one set of protection rules for the road. This best way to ensure consumer protection while providing the necessary flexibility. See, it goes back to the fact that the ISPs is the absolute gateway into this. The tech companies are technically avoidable. The tech companies are technically avoidable. All right? Now, of course, he goes through and breaks down all of this. This is all based on this, this document that he intercepted. And really, this is a conspiracy from the ISPs and their ISP lobby, US Teleco, to utilize this to draw attention away from ISPs because they just don't want the attention on them. But with that being said, let's see. Is this the one that had the... Yeah, this is the one I wanted to cover. I think this is the one that... yeah, this one. We don't need to cover that article. We just want to look at this article here. So, monopoly busting case against Google, Amazon, Uber, and Facebook. It surprised me to see Uber on this list. But after I read through the article, I understood why they happened to do it. There's actually a lot of people with a lot of comments. So I'm actually going to go over to comments, and then we're going to wrap up with this article here. Mostly because I also want to put a website in here. All right. So let's see what kind of comments we got. Then we'll wrap up on the last article here. All right. Sort of funny that the day before 9/11 they made a small announcement they had a lousy trillions of dollars and don't know where it went. Well, try to repeatedly enter the password. It tells you it's wrong. Then once you enter the password, it says, sorry, you can't use the old password. Flip table. Yep. Yep. Windows extends their free Windows 10 update. Go for it, huh? Oh, boy. Rumsfeld that announced $2.3 trillion was missing from the military budget. All right. Microsoft seems to have a habit of new versions that people hate only to go back. Yep. Hello, Pizza's back. Tom doesn't need emojis. Tom is an emoji. Nice. SwitchedToLinux, you don't type heart and smile emojis in business messages? No, I really don't. I mean, I usually don't. I mean, every now and again. Skype is redesigned again? Yes. You liked it? You're insane. Probably where our social security went. Even Gmail is getting cutesy. Oh, Lord. What do you think about Alex Jones being banned for hate speech? I would like to see this in this hate speech. I think Alex Jones is a Fruit Loop, but I appreciate the fact that Alex Jones can do. I mean, come on. If Alex Jones wasn't so much of a Fruit Loop, we wouldn't get amazing remix songs like I don't like it putting chemicals on, turn the frogs gay. You know, that was a beautiful, beautiful remix somebody did, making a song out of that clip. It was amazing. I think it's bad because they are basically officially censoring people. Let's see all this hate speech. I haven't seen it. They keep on talking about the hate speech, but they're not showing it to us. Let me see the hate speech. Okay, let me see the hate speech. Skype reminds me of ICQ, IM, and Trillion. Yep. They only ban people who are not with the agenda. Yep. Please use Skype as I don't trust MS products. I don't either. Unfortunately, that's where my business people are. I can never get stupid USBs inserted right until the 5th time. I usually get them on the 3rd these days. New tool for crooks to break in. Yep. We have the person in jail for 18 months so far for not giving out description passwords. I think he's been in jail for more than 18 months, though. I think it was 2.5 years. Yeah, it's insane. It's insane. I think that judge needs to go to jail for a few years. Like, dude, you have locked up a person in perpetually because you claim that you have enough for a case against him. Fine. Then charge him and try him. If you have to have the information that's in his head to try him, I'm sorry, you don't have a case. I don't care what the issue is about. People need their homes ransacked to learn better. Yep. Tom, place the keys, put them in there. Once you're in the habit, it's easy. Yep. Why did the vid show them losing the key in an oven? I missed it, man. I don't know. I mean, that's usually where I lose my keys. I usually put my keys in the oven and totally forget that they're there until I'm in the middle of making dinner. Things too sticking hot to pull out, you know? What a coincidence. The Pentagon's counting department was hit by a fake plane. There's no video footage of that fake plane hitting in any of the 80-plus cameras. Hey, man, it was a very tricky plane. Mom said I could not watch it because said you were creepy. All right. Only use case I could see for this for a memory-impaired senior. But even then, yeah. People used to freak out after threatening me on my message board when I told them their home address. That was a decade ago. Saw his green screen mask. Okay, yeah, all I've seen this footage is on that one. Seems much more enthusiastic about today's topics. Yeah, it's been a long week, man. It's been a long week. No, she said she didn't see. She said that was a couple months ago when he was leaving comments on my live stream. I believe you are asking questions. URLs haven't been getting harder to remember. People are getting dumber, so people can't remember. Fire department's on the way. All right. Has a crazy look when he's on fire. Yep. Like how Safari handles URLs. It hides them when you scroll down, but shows them if you scroll up or at the top. Yeah. I like the thing always being there. Onion links, LOL. Just kidding. You to meditate, it does wonders for your temper. Looks like TJ has something to add to the subject. Yep. Cat's in the cradle. Cat's in the kettle at the Peking moon. Place to eat every day at noon. What? You don't like that song? The kitty does not like that Weird Al song. You don't like that Weird Al song, do you? You know? TJ's standing by to use the shock paddles when Tom has cardiac event. Asian Pie will destroy it first. Google is destroying the internet. Who or what is Asian Pie? Asian Pie, the moron at the FCC, is destroying the internet by empowering the ISPs. I did hear people questioning something about DuckDuckGo recently, and I have not got a chance to hear about it. Hard to find, but it's probably still out there on the dark corners of the web. The missile launcher, that is, it's been well covered up at this point. Asia Pie Face. Now you see me had a great scene about passwords, all right? Individual question is innocent, but enough of them are aggravating for identity. Yep. It depends. Like it says, like, what do you need to use the information for? The QBQ. What do you need that information for is better. Oh, it's for a project. Sorry, I'm not interested. Okay. If you ever use security questions, put some random answer in. Yep. First pet was named Ribeye because he was a rescue, and we found him. He was so skinny, he was nothing but rib and eye. Generals gathered in their classes just like witches at black masses. Ozzy knew that back in the 60s. Colin Asia Pyamoron. What redundancy? Steam Play is on Steam Stable now. Oh, really? Cool. My internet bill went up by $1 this month. Wow. If I thought the government would enforce net neutrality unbiased, I'd support it. I'll be honest and say that I hate the ISPs as well. I honestly admit I have no answer to the issue. What up, Mark Yates? How's it going there? Asia Pie. Nope, bad guy. Do the opposite of everything he says, you'll be good. There you go. Asia Pie is the embodiment of... Yeah. Just another puppet. Hey, Comcast, what can I do for you, Comcast? Oh, okay, I'll make it worse for them. How much money? Ooh, thanks for the cash, Comcast. All right. A song by Motorhead called Orgasmatron. You don't need net neutrality, you need competition. Actually, we need both. We need both. Because even if there's competition, what's to say they won't collude? Like Valve as a company because they put as much effort in supporting Linux as they can. Yep. Use VPN and Comcast can't see anything. Maybe. Problem is that Comcast ran their cables and won't let Charter use them. If Charter were to run their own cables... Okay, here's the problem. The government paid for the cables. Anybody should be able to use them. That's what the Telecommunications Act of 1996 was all about. Oh, boy. MasterCard's working with Google now. They've been working with Google for over a year. We just know a little bit more of the details of the situation now. Know where to get IP lists of companies one would like to block. Know where to get IP list of companies one would like to block. I don't know of any major lists other than the scammers and advertiser lists. You can look for those. MasterCard doesn't attach your name to purchases, but a number. Google can figure out by geolocation and time of event who exactly you are. Yep. How old do you have to be to invest in stocks? I don't know. Do you know where to get IP? Okay, I've already answered that one. Chrome's new design is cancer. Well, that's obvious. Chrome itself is cancer. Come on. Competing ISP had to pay rent, doesn't affect their quality or cost. The Windows 10 Insider is just asking for problems and no privacy. Here, take all my rights, every last shred you can legally take. Here's my liberties. Yep. Insiders are brain-dead zombies if they know half of what we know. Yep. Google, MasterCard, and Google together, you'll see the articles. Yep. Yeah, like I said, they've been doing that for over a year. We just now have some of the details. Look for Alex Jones' frog remix hit the floor. Isn't that classic? That is amazingly classic. I do run Windows 8.1 Pro, but I'm getting rid of it. Yeah, okay. Benjamin Aldridge. PBS did a documentary about how Britain broke ISP monopoly called Need to Know High Fiber. We have AJ that doesn't speak the truth. What's in front of him? Here's a very funny video of Dave Collin Computing Forever did with Alex Jones. Oh, I didn't see that one. Windows 10 on my gaming PC, which is unfortunately my main PC. However, I'm switching to use my laptop. Dude, if you can pizza, throw an Icy Dock in there, man. Same computer, just swap the hard drive from the front. Dual monitors with a laptop be my first experience with dual monitors. Very nice, very cool. Think competition is the answer, not just government control. Must find a way to bring it in. I think it'd make even Comcast service better. Hear crickets from the mic. Yes, there are crickets outside. Cats in the kettle, cradle at the silver spoon. No, it's cats in the kettle at the Peking Moon, that little place I go every day at noon. All right. Read source code. Include tutorial. How to read it. Paste on art. Saddle Ridge. Don't see anything. Cryland. No idea the government paid for the cables. Yep. That's what was, if you you want to research, I want to say it was Telecommunications Act of 1996. Government put millions and maybe billions of dollars of subsidies for the specific purpose of expanding the cable net infrastructure. And that's exactly what the ISPs were supposed to use the money for, expand the cable internet structure, and then they were supposed to be able to use each other's lines. If you have 3 companies competing, they can collude. Yep. Jones is crazy, but a lot of what he says is true. Yep, I agree. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that, Mugen. Heard Pizzagate, the very platform is your own activity, albeit looked up a porn blocker like 4 days ago, and all I'm getting now is ads for... Wow. Time to go into the old Google and add that cookie that tells them not to serve you ads based on what your eye... Yeah, this is a problem. This is a problem. This is a problem. Back channels through in Windows 7 and 8. All right, we're going to stop there and finish up our last story. All right, so the monopoly busting case against Google, Amazon, Uber, and Facebook is presented by The Verge. Dun, dun, dun. So, of course, what these guys are talking about is there's been this battle against these, and they did a little story about each of these. And there's some things about each of these I really agree with, and some things I really disagree with on each. Ultimately, these are not, these are edge providers. They're not main providers. ISP, I have no choice. But if I wanted to completely exile Google from my life, I could. I wouldn't be here on YouTube, but I could. All right. And my personal life, I don't use Google services. Nothing from Google in my personal life. So here's some of the different things. So Google is the conglomerate, they say. This is like a bad game of Clue. I think it was Google in the internet cafe with the keyboard. That's what I'm saying. But anyway, our best model for tech antitrust, Department of Justice anti-binding case against Microsoft, which argued Microsoft is using its control over the PC market to force out competing operating systems and browsers. And I think they were successful. If you're looking for a contemporary equivalent, Google is probably the closest fit. On a good day, Google, or Alphabet if you prefer, is the most valuable company in the world by market cap with dozens of different products supported by an all-encompassing ad network. Google also has clear and committed enemies with Microsoft, Oracle, Yelp, and even Motion Picture Association of America, calling for restrictions on the company's power. Some of these restrictions are already taking shape. So Europe, of course, did the $5 billion fine for anti-competitive Android bundling, which I call hokey in a way, because I have a Google phone because it's the most unlockable and the most compatible with more online, more custom ROMs than any other device. The Google phones are easy to unlock, easy to restore back to stock if you want it back to stock. It's easiest to unlock, very simple, a lot of features, and they're very high quality products. I like the thing. It's a good phone. It's a good device. Yes, the Android operating system itself, if you're running Android without a custom ROM, it's very difficult to get the Google crap out of there. That is a problematic thing. And with the latest incarnations of Android, it is becoming more invasive. In fact, one of the reasons I switched to iPhone is initially is back, I want to say it might have been KitKat, it might have been, in fact, I think it was the KitKat operating system, which really started to embed a lot of Google stuff in the background that I had no idea was even turning on. Oh, that pissed me off one day. I was doing contract work with a company that all of their platform ran on Google stuff. And so I just entered the Google email address in there so I could get the emails and calendar updates. All of a sudden, I'm getting like Google live chats from people on the team. It's like, dude, I'm a contractor. Leave me alone unless I'm scheduled for an event. You know, but I couldn't turn the crap off. So I took the phone back to the store and said, screw you, give me an iPhone. And I ran that until Apple got worse. Now I run custom ROMs. All right. So, of course, you have a separate $4 billion GDPR case, of course. And Senator Orrin Hatch called the FTC to investigate anti-competitive effects from Google's dominance in online ads and search. Now, this is, again, partly true. The part that's very related to the Microsoft case is how pervasive Google is. It is, we don't even say do an internet search, we say Google X in order to talk about something. So they have gotten that way, but it's not a forced thing. The difference is Microsoft in the 90s with that case, it was very difficult to get a web browser that wasn't Internet Explorer. And the fact that they bundled Internet Explorer with it was problematic. Of course, you know what they say about Internet Explorer. It's the #1 browser to download a better browser. Well, back then there weren't a lot of browsers, and that was part of the problem. I mean, okay, we need a better browser. Well, I need a web browser to go download a better browser. Or you could just install all the browsers on there or whatever else. Maybe do something like Farron OS does. Which browser would you like to use? Those would all be interesting things. But I don't have to use Google for searches. I use Startpage. Okay? I don't have to use Google for a lot of these services. Now, here's where I understand it. If you're a business in any tech world and you're not using Google, you can't really conduct business. And they start to do funky things. Is anybody aware that within the last couple of months, they changed the Google Map API? You know the map function and functionality that Google uses all over the place? They use the map functionality all over the place for directions, for whatever else. Well, subtly, it was about 2 years ago, they subtly changed it. So you actually had to, you were able to use all that stuff with nothing. Then they subtly changed it so you had to go in and use a Google Map API now to do nearly everything on those. Anything other than just adding an embedded iframe required now a Google API, which is beyond your average consumer's ability to go get. So I had to go through a bunch of websites and get APIs and plug these in to fix all of these map functions. Well, in the last couple of months, Google has now changed that again, so you have to have a credit card on file, and after a certain number of API requests, they're just going to start charging you. But there is no other mapping service that comes close to what Google can do because they have either crowded out or bought out every competing system. They've either bought out or crowded out every competing system. So if you want a map functionality on a website, you have a zero option but to go with Google. That's the problem. That's where I start to agree. So how did they actually do this? It is because they just keep on buying up. Startups. So the company has acquired more than 200 startups since it was founded, including Central Products, YouTube, Android, DoubleClick. Company's modular structure is arguably a direct result of the buying spree, but it's hard to imagine what Google would look like without it. More recent buys like Nest have fallen under a broader Alphabet umbrella, but the core strategy hasn't changed. Would Google still be an AI giant if it hadn't bought DeepMind? Scary. So how do you fix this? Well, what they propose is setting a market cap that a company above a certain market cap could not acquire any new companies. Of course, they would say, hey, set that at 100 billion. Maybe that's even a little too high. Google is roughly right now worth $840 billion. All right. And so that's kind of what they're saying is break these up. And one of the best ways to do it is to this. Now, there's advantages and disadvantages. Obviously, one of the major startup fields right now, the downs, and there's upsides and downsides. I worked with a startup company in the ed tech sector, and they hired us. They paid us very well. We did a great job. We grew the company 300% year after year. On the third year, a major publisher came in, bought the company, and laid us all off because we were overpaid. But the founder of the company made millions on the deal and was offered an executive position in the company. All right, so as a startup person and as somebody who has a touch of entrepreneurial in him, a good strategy for most companies is to come up with a great idea, get it to grow, make enough buzz so that you get bought out. Because the entrepreneur at heart, we want to get the thing going and then have somebody say, here's $1 million. Can we have it? And you go, great, here, you have it. I don't want the exec position. Give me the $1 million. Now it frees me up to do the next thing because I get a passion for making new businesses. That's an entrepreneurial mindset. So that would obviously hurt this and hurt the startup world. You would get more startups that care more about more of a long-term approach to business, but those generally will grow a little bit on the slower end. And so we have a little bit of dichotomy between this. This would prevent Google from getting any bigger, but it would also hurt a lot of how the small business sector wants to run to begin with. So you can kind of understand either way, but that's kind of Google. Amazon, the platform. Dun, dun, dun. So Amazon makes life hard for competitors. This is true. Now, I talked to I think it was yesterday I talked to my live stream about Amazon because, you know, as we talk about Amazon, and yes, Amazon is problematic in full disclosure. There is an Amazon link up there. I buy things from Amazon for good reasons, and I list my books. I'm an author. I'm a publisher. I publish things and list things on Amazon. The reason is, if you want to give me the most money for buying my books, you need to buy them directly from me. Because I can buy my books from either Amazon or from Lightning Source, pretty much the only two places to print a book in this world. By the way, all of your major publishers, Lightning Source is where they get their things published. So I can get my books printed from Amazon or from Lightning Source, and they will cost me roughly $3 or $4 per book to get here. So I then have to store an inventory of books, list them on a website, and hope somebody has enough interest, goes to the website, and then uses an unfamiliar website in this day of crazy. Okay, so if you do that, I get the most profit out of my books. But it's not the best platform because while I get the most profit, I've sold only a small handful of books on my own platform. I've sold the majority of my books on Amazon. As far as anywhere else for a consumer to directly purchase my books, not from the publisher, i.e. me, okay, Amazon gives the highest commission rates for you buying a book. So if you're going to buy my book and you don't want to buy it directly from my website, buying it from Amazon gives me the highest commission rate. The reason is Amazon has purchased a printing platform that actually prints the books. Okay, and it is the same printer that Lightning Source uses. Again, if you're unfamiliar with the publishing world, books are only produced in two places, Lightning Source and Amazon. Okay? When you buy a book and it's been printed through Amazon, you do it on Amazon, Amazon takes 40% of the book and I get the other 60, minus the printing fee, which is about $3. So take the list price, subtract $3, that's the printing fee, that's what the printing company gets, which is Amazon, and then they take 40% of the book sale and I get 60% of the book sale. Lightning Source, it's still a $3 book printing fee, but Lightning Source is going to take a percentage. The bookstore wants 50%, 53% actually. I get the remaining, which is about 30%. So if you were to buy one of my books through a bookstore, I get the least. Okay, I get the lowest amount of money if you buy one of my books through the bookstore. So if I can drive traffic to Amazon, it helps me. That's as a publisher. However, works that are not purely creative like that, that plays for any creative art. Music production, books, things like that, that Amazon just can't create out of the ether. The problem is when Amazon can create something out of the ether, they have been driving traffic to them, and then they have been coming in and they have been effectively damaging small retailers. They'll get people used to the site, and then once they have enough market share in a niche, they will then take their resources, go to a Chinese factory where they can have, children assembling this stuff for nothing, ship it back and sell it for a fraction of the cost of the good produced stuff. So Amazon makes life hard for its competitors. And by now, the company is competing against nearly everyone. Notorious example is the company's wholesale pillaging of diapers.com. I remember this company. Okay, so Amazon saw... So diapers.com came up to compete with Amazon. Amazon was able to drop its price as much as 30%, matching diaper.com's pricing. And basically, diapers.com had to keep on lowering until it was no longer sustainable. And then it got to the point where the only way that they could survive and not lose everything is to simply be bought out by Amazon. So Amazon has bought out a lot of these different platforms. And then what they do is, more recently, smaller retailers, they've been targeted and priced out by generics from Amazon Basics, which benefits from Amazon's wealth of data about who's buying what. Since Amazon has the money to out-discount any competitors, there's not much anybody can do about it. With the laser focus on the consumer benefit, meaning lower prices, companies become a major player in nearly every market it enters. Since the modern antitrust standard is mostly focused on consumer harm, Amazon has largely avoided regulatory scrutiny, making a prime target for a new generation of policy minds that are focused on how big companies can distort markets. Anti-monopoly lawyer Linda Kahn, I really hope her husband's name is not Genghis, laid out the case against the retail giant in 2017, an article called Amazon's Antitrust Paradox, in which she argued Amazon store had become a utility infrastructure the company was subverting for its own benefit, and the argument seems to have found new favor with the FTC commissioner who came on earlier. Okay, now the problem is they have managed to get to the point where they can manufacture and acquire and drive too many things. So one of the greatest examples of this I can find is in regular conversations with one of my clients. So one of my clients here is American Fitness Couture. So this is a completely designed, created, and manufactured activewear clothing line in the United States. Everything is done in Los Angeles. Everything is done local to my client. So she has a store which used to be massively profitable. She has a lot of good things, well, for people who wear such things. I mean, I don't, so... but regardless, we're actually in the middle of redesigning this right now. But so basically, these were good prices for things in this niche. She did a lot of business, but then Amazon started cannibalizing a lot of that. And then what happened with Amazon starting to cannibalize all of that is that she had to start listing things on Amazon to be found. And then she was doing pretty good, but then Amazon started getting into this business and now selling essentially the same type of stuff for fractions on the dollar. So my client had to drop prices on Amazon so much that for her, Amazon's making almost nothing. So if you are looking for good American-made and American-designed stuff, check out American Fitness Couture. And I believe if you sign up on the newsletter, you'll get a coupon for 15% off your first purchase. So definitely check them out if you are in the niche for this type of clothing. Of course, I'm not. I mean, I would probably look striking in this, but I don't know. I'm just not going to try it out. But this is American-made, American-designed, American-produced, and picking something up directly from this company is the best way you can do that. And I think there's some locations if you happen to be in Los Angeles area, you can check it out. So definitely take a look at the website here. I'll go ahead and drop it right here. in the chat if you guys want to check this out. Like I said, this is one of my clients, and I've been working with her for quite a long time. You know, she knows this industry pretty well. So definitely check this out. But her store has been massively suffering because of Amazon buying out stores, driving too much traffic to itself, and then producing cheap quality stuff that's cheap. And it is cheaper quality stuff. Sometimes you don't care if it's cheaper quality. Sometimes you just want better stuff. So definitely check that out. So it gives, in that view, problem with the Amazon, the store gives too much advantage to Amazon manufacturer, thanks to acquisitions such as Whole Foods, the power of Prime. Amazon in the store keeps getting bigger. All right. So in short, it would be court-mandated net neutrality for the everything store. It would be pretty aggressive. Department of Justice, guess here, cons analysis and gaining favor. All right, so there's that. All right, Uber. So Uber's showing up as a price fixer. Now, price fixing, this is a problem with having pseudo-competition, which is essentially oligarchy. So oligarchy or oligarchy. So oligarchy and corporatocracy are not a lot different. Really the difference between them, and I realized I'm not on my corporatocracy banner. I should be on my corporatocracy banner. There we are. All right, so with regards to this, what Uber was doing, oligarchy. What this is there's only a small handful of companies, just enough to make it look like there's competition, but they collude with each other. This is what I think Amazon, but Apple was also big into with this ebook price fixing. So they did this ebook price fixing, which, by the way, you can buy my books on Kindle right now on Amazon for 99 cents. Buy them quick. I'm going to be changing that price as soon as I can, because right now at 99 cents, Amazon takes 60% of my sales. When I bump up the price a little bit higher, they're only going to take 30% of my sales. If you want it, buy it quick, but I'm only going to get 30 cents. All right. And so oligarchy, though, is when you have a few people, they're generally friends, they price fix. Well, what Uber did, being the biggest company of this type of crowdsourced labor, which actually surprised me it was the biggest, but it makes sense, where everybody is contracted drivers. Basically, what they were able to do is anytime the number of drivers in an area dropped, they were able to shoot up prices really high, fixing the prices and seriously damaging things, which caused a lot of stuff that I'm not sure they're much doing that anymore. But these types of businesses where we don't really have any competition allows them to set whatever prices they want, and with no competition. And these guys are always, in fact, there's some back end. There's a guy I watch on YouTube. I literally watch this guy just shake my head and go, oh, you're such a moron. But apparently he does some things for Uber and Lyft, and I think it's Lyft has a recruiter program where they basically pay people to take Uber rides and try and recruit the Uber drivers to also become Lyft drivers. So there's dirty business going on inside of both these, and I'm pretty sure Uber is probably doing the same. It's kind of got this back and forth thing going. It's kind of back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. Just kind of seeing what is going on here. So with this, they're basically saying they're price fixing by crowding out the competition and then just jacking up the prices everywhere. Of course, you have the starfish. This one here has some things I completely disagree with. All right, so in some ways, Facebook is the most urgent case. It's inescapable, opaque, and it wields immense power over the fundamental function of our society. I don't think I agree with anything in that sentence. It is inescapable. No. I deleted my Facebook account. I haven't actively used my Facebook account in 4 or 5 years. I decided to pull the trigger and finally delete the stupid thing of March, I think, and I never went back since. No interest. Furthermore, I've blocked it on all of my servers, so you can't access it, whether on my servers or on my phone. It's completely unblockable, which means their little Facebook tracking script can't block me. I'm not seeing any information, so I don't see how it wields any immense power over me. And frankly, it's not even a relevant platform anymore, so I can't imagine it really causes much interest on our society outside of maybe old people, because that's all who's ever on Facebook anymore. Come on, man. Facebook is MySpace. All right. But more than any other tech firm, Facebook's power feels like an immediate threat. Why? 20 different measures would rain on Facebook and other ones in GDP-style data portability requirement. No, we do not need a GDPR-style data portability requirement. That data portability, by the way, is not GDPR. It allows you to click a button and send all your information from one tech firm over to another. That's the exact opposite of GDPR. No, we need, Congress, if you're paying attention to this, we need you to make it so data mining companies are illegal. All data mining companies. Because Facebook isn't my concern. My concern is Equihacks and about 1,000 other data mining companies that all have my data that I've never done business with and never consented to and don't even know they exist and will not delete my data if I ask them. That's who you want to target if you're focusing on this kind of crap. Don't sit there and target Facebook, because I don't have to use Facebook. And I blocked Facebook, and Facebook can't track me anymore. I can get away from Facebook. I can't get away from these data mining companies that I don't know exist. If I do find out they exist, they won't delete my data. I don't do any business, and I have zero power. And they hire the third world country crap that is constantly subject to hacking. So my data leaks all over the place. And by the way, whichever one of you people out there stole my credit card number and bought a bunch of stuff on iTunes, the credit card company's looking for you. Lordy. Dude, I don't even use this stupid thing. I think I used it like 5 times in the last year. Someone stole the number. Charge $170. I told the credit card company, dude, blacklist iTunes. I'm never doing business with them. Jeez. I don't use credit cards anyway. I had half a mind to just delete this, just close this stupid thing. The only reason I don't is because I don't have the size emergency fund I need. But it's like, the Lord. Of course, it took 10 minutes to get past their phone number. What are you calling about? I'm calling to get a human being on the phone. All right, but Warner's major focus, nudging Facebook toward more responsible behavior. A growing number of critics see the problem as Facebook itself. It may be that the social network with more than 2 billion users is simply too big to be managed responsibly, and no amount of moderators or regulators will immediately rein the company in. For those critics, social networks are a natural monopoly, and no amount of portability requirements will ever produce meaningful competitors. Here's another fun thing we do about Facebook. If you want to talk about doing things with Facebook, why don't you pass a law in this land that school districts are not allowed to use Facebook? Teach your kids responsible ways of distributing information. Don't sit here and go, we got problems with Google, and every school system in this country, for crying out loud, sits there and uses Google accounts and Microsoft accounts. You're got part of the problem. Make a mandated law. Do away with all Google accounts, all Microsoft accounts, all other accounts that require mass collection of our students' data. Get them off of the addiction, get them off of the requirements, get it off of perpetually putting them on there. Get these things off. Pass a law that school systems are not allowed to use Microsoft accounts, not allowed to use Google accounts, because the parents haven't agreed to it, the kid hasn't agreed to it, and the school district is giving this company personal private data, including your birth name, your middle name, your birth date, everything about you, and they're collecting all of the data and monitoring it all throughout your life. That's what needs to stop. Don't sit here and give lip service to break up the monopolies, and then every school district in this country is forcing people on Google or on Microsoft. Pizza's on here. I think Pizza may have left by now. I don't know. But Pizza had to agree to terms and conditions for Microsoft to engage in regular education in school. That's the travesty, Congress. That's the travesty. Crying out loud. Facebook isn't the problem. But maybe make schools so they're not allowed to use any social media accounts. For the love. A classic antitrust breakup, as someone has suggested, would be like the only option. Best example is breakup of AT&T, which saw telecom giants' local phone businesses split into baby bells, each bound for serious geographical and regulatory restrictions. It's a classic example of how to cut the giant company into smaller companies without disrupting service. Public knowledge is Farrell Finn has been thinking hard about that model and might apply to Facebook. Feld is best known for the telecom lawyer, but he's become increasingly interested in how the telecom model fits in the new platform era. The obvious answer to this this approach is like Google, blocking future acquisitions and breaking off side products like WhatsApp and Instagram. I think Instagram is your biggest thing. Don't sit there and attack Facebook. It's just a scarecrow. The problem is all-consuming size of the network. Splitting off networks may lead to what Feld called the starfish problem. If you tear up a starfish in pieces, it'll regrow. Now, instead of 1 starfish, you have 5 starfish. If you're going to split up Facebook, what's to prevent it from becoming 3 Facebooks? Exactly the problem. So here's a tip. Stop forcing it on your students. Crying out loud. So, interesting read on this article. There's things you can agree with. There's things you're just like, this is just giving lip service to a wider problem. But, you know, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? All right. I lost my place. Watch testimony of a little boy on his own account of the abuse he's experienced. Uh-oh, on what? Okay. AJ is a first test guinea pig for corporatocracy censoring. Yep. Mr. AJ. That was Pizzagate, but it's Satan's world, no doubt. Okay, if I run Linux Mint on a TH, can Windows 10 still spy on me? Oh, on a thumb drive. Well, if Windows can't spy on anything you're doing on Linux, like if you're running Linux, when you're running Linux, Windows operating system isn't doing anything. It's just sitting there. So anything you do on Linux is generally safe from Microsoft spying on you. All right. The reason that competing ISPs would pay rent because they don't feel the need to pay for infrastructure. All right. Moving away from Google. Still lack some accounts. If I ever make a company that offers free services, I will collect data to pay for everything and make a profit. However, if I make a monthly subscription service, not collect data and no ads. Yep. That's why in my Think Life Media, when you're logged in, there's no more ads on the site. I took them down. I think there's one page that still has some. I just need to take the ads off that page entirely. But wait, we don't have to collect data on those who don't want to be collected. Yep. Windows 10 can't see anything on Linux Mint. Makes sense. It's true the government paid for the cables, the ISPs did not. Why should they have to pay rent to a company that doesn't own them? Yep, that's the problem. I think the Pixel 1 is only $200 now, right? I think a friend of mine just bought one. Government U.S. subsidizes infrastructure. They don't pay for it. Okay. How private are iPhones? They're more private than Android, but still not the best. If it's running a VM on Windows 10. Okay, so if you're running Linux Mint, okay, if you're running Windows 10 and you're running a virtual machine with Linux Mint on it, it can't see what you're doing inside the virtual machine. And vice versa, if you're running Windows 10 on a virtual machine on Linux Mint, it won't be able to see that either. Stream just stopped for y'all? No? Running tip-top. Yep, I haven't noticed any drops on my end at all. Yeah, I believe the capitalism, real capitalism is the answer. Yeah, and that's the thing, is we just don't have... If we had real capitalism, man, if anybody should be able to break into the ISP market, it should have been Google. They're having issues. At least Internet Explorer and Edge are good for one thing, downloading a decent browser. Smash that like button, please. Yep, like, comment, subscribe, all that fun stuff. Hit that notification bell, and if the moon phase is right, you might get the notification about whatever video I'll do tomorrow morning. at sometime between 12 and 1. Used Edge in the Windows 10 partition, download Firefox. Yep. I think for a second there will be an easy solution here. There's been a lot of people and time to muck it up. Yep. OpenStreetMap is not compatible for Google Maps. What I'm talking about is developing services that allows you to do the types of things you can do on Google Maps. We're talking about advanced stuff. Edge isn't a bad browser per se. I just don't trust it. Yeah. And Comcast sucks, but I do believe the government can take it and make it much worse when it has the power. Yeah. Can't delete my own posts. What? Edge is not utter crap like IE, but it's also not as good as Chrome and Firefox. Yeah. A lot of entrepreneurial in you. You probably have more than me. I don't know. I don't know if I'm super entrepreneurial or not. I don't know. Maybe I am. Maybe that's why I jump from thing to thing, you know. I've achieved. I can look back on all this and be proud. Yep. One thing which I hate about Firefox, that full screen nag message in YouTube and other video players. You can mostly disable it, but every now and again it pops up again. Wow. Press enter to switch the browser to full screen. Now it's full screen. Okay. I had a scroll problem earlier. Refresh worked. Yep. Hey, it's just watched the level 1 Linux stream from yesterday. I noticed that you also watched it. Wendell asked a question of yours. Huh. Cool. Yeah, I saw Mark Yates on Eli's stream the other day, I think. I didn't catch his one today. Nothing quite as satisfying as hitting CTR with a 9-iron. Spamazon. Okay. Oh God, my name is read down. All the chat hurts. All right. Hello, Matthew Keller. Greetings. How many products can one company fit on a website? Amazon. Amazon has shifted into our neighborhood. Soon, New Zealand researchers will have to pay more tax on things ordered overseas. Don't buy clothes from Spamazon because much of the clothes are used in return and sold as new, but not washed either. Yuck. Not to mention developed, made by slave labor. Site here, nice and clean. Well, that one's, that's actually their site is Shopify. I just manage it. We buy the themes because developing a ground up theme from Shopify is just too expensive. It would just take me hours and hours. So we buy themes, but I mock them up. Actually, we're deploying a way better theme on Monday. I hope on Monday we're going to be deploying a better theme on that American Fitness Couture. The new theme that we have is, I really like it. It's a lot better. Picked a client the other day, got to do the work when the SSDs get here. How do we fight Amazon other than buying elsewhere? I'm thinking the best thing to do with Amazon at times is, see if there's any way to put pressure on them to pay better. Like I said, it's far from perfect, but I do like the bill idea that Bernie Sanders wanted to put into place. And I don't agree with a lot of things Sanders wants to do. But I thought that bill was kind of interesting because what it'll do is it'll force large companies to pay livable wages again. That might be it. But, other than that, I don't know. I know for me, I use Amazon because, frankly, I try to give local businesses a choice. But when I'm going to a store looking for something, it's like, oh, we can order it for you. Well, moron, I can order it for me. It'll probably get here cheaper and faster, too. I'm not going to have to come back here. If you got it in stock, I'd pay a little bit more if I could get it today. The problem is too many big stores are like, oh, everyone's doing online ordering now, and they think that's a crutch for having things in your brick and mortar store, and it's not. You need to have the availability of products. You really do. Charge him double for Uber? Ugh. That was an Uber problem. Ooh. Picked up a 4 in the 5 last few months. I've been off Facebook for a long time. I actually think that's working in my favor. Yeah. World ticks me off. Then I try and vent sometimes in the public view. People don't really care. Uber's owned by Muslim terrorists. Really? Get to know me. I'm not angry, intolerant jerk. I'm actually a very reasonable, nice person. Yep, there you go. Okay, try to hold my tongue. RAM memory is a good example of an oligarchy. Yeah. Can't get away from it. I just have to pop off of the mouth like my grandmother. Yeah, there you go. But shouldn't we... Okay, know what the Bible says about the tongue, but shouldn't we speak out on the injustice because I know Jesus did? Well, okay, let's talk about that for a moment. So the tongue reference you're talking about is the sections in James 3. Let not many of you seek to become teachers, as such you will incur a greater judgment. And then he goes into the analogy with the horse, the analogy with the ship, and then talks about the tongue directs us. What he's talking about is speaking out of turn. He's talking about speaking callously, talking about speaking inappropriately, maybe in the spirit of what Paul was talking about in Ephesians 4, talking about do not let anything unwholesome come in your mouth. In other words, things that cut people down, callous jokes, things like that. But yes, absolutely, we should speak out on injustice. We really should. That's a lot of what I do here. I speak out on the injustice of the world. And it may or may not ever actually turn into something, but we'll see. Facebook is completely avoidable. I thought it was stupid in 04, and it's still stupid. Yep. And Facebook free for 7+ years. Yep. And Camille de Muslin's supposed ancestor, a journalist who really said what he thought. Late again. Well, welcome anyway. See the boss. Or de bastas. Off topic. No, that's cool, man. That's awesome. Okay, it was a bit much, and I'm glad you made the smart move there. The only reason I'm on Facebook is because of certain people I need to stay in touch with. I told them I would delete it, and they said, drop me a PM to get my number. Stay in touch. That's what I did, you know. I'm right. I don't know what I'm right about, but thank you. Okay. To be honest, back in 2010, I used Facebook to find my dad and met him for the first time at 21. I don't know how I would have found him if not for that. Cool. See, there's legitimate uses out there. You'd need to pay for a service if you want to avoid data mining, but nobody wants to pay. Gotta put these big companies out of the mine. They can't win us over. Fire. Fire. Okay. People need to keep in touch with me. Also refuse to use Facebook. I tell them there's an old invention called a phone, and they should use it. Yep. Oh, pizza's still here. Pizza, pizza. All right. My screen is melting from the fire. 2 fire screens in 1 hour, admittedly. I bet the schools are paid to allow it anyway, either monetarily or with free hardware. Yep. Take over mod. I have to go offline. Yep. All right. See you, Saddle Ridge. Oh, Lord. A lot of comments. All right, I agree if people won't keep in touch with me unless they stay on Facebook. Maybe they're not real friends. Yeah, that's a thought. I'm planning a video on how to counter that argument, by the way. Agree to an MS account for my AABS MS of Computer Science, University of Phoenix. Yep. Fortunately, at the mercy of adults who make the final decisions, and it's a shame because they do not know better. Part of the problem. The thing, if you use the school Wi-Fi, you log in with your username, then they can track every website I go on. Why? Oh, I need to make sure no one watches bad sites in class. Yep. People on Facebook, Facebook friends or just pixel pals. Yeah. Could write our senators and make a fuss to complain about those so-called representatives. Yep. Of course, all you're going to get back is their stock answers. Don't know better, like forcing students to use MS Office. Yeah, it's a problem. Virginia Fox, sadly, it's rough. She's doing the bidding of these corporations and less screwing people right. Hardcore Republicans, extreme right-wingers don't know any better. Yeah. Forced to use school Wi-Fi because I can't put a SIM in my phone because I'm smart. Hey, Red Falcon Runs here. Check out redfalconrun.com. Also, he's on the service that shall not be named /Mabus Games. Check him out over there. You know, that other streaming service at Mabus Games over there. Cool. Well, greetings. Senators and representatives will let go in one ear, right out the other. Yeah, maybe another thing we need to do is term limits for senators. Get these people out in the real world every once in a while. Pixel 1 is 200. All right. Find the good ones or just cover stupidity. Do you dye your hair? No. Why? It's hot and sweaty, maybe. Never a company offers free service and the user is the product. Must be the gamma filter, probably. I mean, I seem to look fine on my end. I don't know. Get $5 a week allowance. Yes, Red Falcon Run is Tom's brother. So I have good parents. I don't buy me whatever I want. They give me an allowance and I choose what to spend it on. I'll be switched to Linux soon. I'm tired of Microsoft crap. Yep. Cool, dude. You want to spend some time right now looking for open source cross-platform software to replace the things you're using now. So install LibreOffice on your Windows computer. Learn how to use LibreOffice before you make the jump. When you have as many tasks as you can accomplished with open source software, then make the switch to Linux. Reinstall that free, the open source software, and you'll be set to go. If you jump too quickly, you might get a little frustrated. So just keep that in mind. Capitalism enables people to rise out of poverty, and corporatism is keeping the poor poorest and the rich the richest consistently. When I ask my parents, do you allow me to go to work? Yep. That's a question to the Puget Systems guy. He's a good egg, and I'm taking advice and applying it directly. Very cool. Yeah, Windows 10 for your computer, Windows 10 spies on you since it's malware /spyware. Check out Valuetainment. Oh, yeah. You know what, Mark? I actually just saw Valuetainment's channel yesterday. Watched a few of his videos. Top notch. Check out Valuetainment channel. That is an awesome channel. Really cool stuff. I just saw him for the first time yesterday. It was really good, though. Seattle, so if I talk bad about Amazon or Microsoft at school, everyone gets mad because their parents work for Amazon or Microsoft. Yeah, you can understand that. Wage was pocketed by the landlord. Okay. Because people buying Spamazon that stores don't stock anything anymore. Yeah, and if they start stocking stuff, I'll buy them at the local store because, like, especially expensive stuff. I mean, dude, I bought a like $700 professional camera for some of this stuff. I had to order the microphone online. I went to every store, even the music store. You stock by, oh, we can order anything you need. Dude, I can order anything I need. I promise it's going to be cheaper because I don't have a retail markup on it. I'm having to buy it from Spamazon. Got my microphone, like my camera. I bought all the stuff I could locally. You know, but that's the thing, you know. Computers, my dad's, I have to find a screwdriver so I can take out the hard drive. Plus, I really hate Microsoft and avoid them as much as possible. Right? Toss is online and doing something. Oh, is Toss back on or is he still on? I know he was on when I started. I'm not sure if he's still on or if he's back on. Cool. Yeah, I'm wrapping up soon. So whoa. Righteous indignation is more of what I say, but it does tip the wrong way at times. Yeah. Takes special kind of crazy to become a politician. If I were to ever do that, I'd run for president, but heck no. Don't use those two words in the same sentence, Mark. Those are bad two words put in the same sentence, yo. Hello, Tom Joyner. Yeah, you're late. Sorry, man, but yeah. Okay, might have said this earlier, but if I owned a company like Google, I'd make a subscription service for people that don't want to have their data collected. Yep. Canada students can choose if they want an account with Google. Yeah, we need that law here in America. Why would the old web ring help weaken Google's grip on the internet? Okay, the ISPs don't necessarily want to weaken Google's grip on the internet. They just want to get the focus off of them. They realize that nothing is going to happen here, but they just want the microscope off of them. Microsoft uses Office to track student data. What if I download Office and give out false data? Could I hire someone on like Fiverr to write college essays? Okay, well, you don't want to hire somebody to write your essays because that would actually be, I mean, unethical. I don't think it's illegal necessarily, but it definitely is unethical and could cause you to fail out of school. But what they're doing, that's not the Office program itself, I hope. It's utilizing Office 365 and all those cloud services they want you to use. That's what takes up their data. One of these days, a parent is going to sue some school for signing up their kid to Google or Microsoft service without their permission. And I think they should. And it should be a major countrywide class action lawsuit because it say, hey, I don't want Google to have my kid's real birthday. Google doesn't need your birthdays, people. Google does not need our birthdays. Is an AA degree in the U.S. Associate of the Arts, is that what you mean? So like the hierarchy of degrees, Associate of the Arts is the lowest degree. So it's AA, AS, BA, BS, MA, MS, PhD are your academic degrees. And of course you have your legal ones. So the AA is the lowest degree. It takes the least amount. It stands for Associate of the Arts, and it means that you have a 2-year overview. It's a 2-year overview with more of a focus on a broad spectrum arts rather than an in-depth focus. An AS, Associates of Science, means that you have a 2-year more in-depth degree focusing more core classes, less curriculum classes. And of course, bachelor's is a 4-year. BA is a 4-year degree, giving you a little bit more core curriculum classes, so a little bit broader, in-depth, with less detail of your major. BS is more drills down to the major with less, less everything else, and it kind of goes up from there, if that's what you're asking. Remember, I tried to use LibreOffice when first going to university, but I couldn't. It broke down and used Office. Uh-oh. It's become very good these days. It's right-wing Democrat over C because I'm not extreme. Hair looks darker than usual. I don't think so. It's probably just the studio light system, because my studio light system is like a full daylight system. I mean, of course, I could engage Smurf mode. Smurf mode engaged, and that totally messes with the green screen. Well, it's not too bad. Yeah, it's probably the studio lighting, because the studio lighting is it's like full day spectrum. Crazy, cool. You also look more pale than I usually do. Well, I've actually joined Vampirism, and so, joining Vampirism has kind of given me a little bit of adjustments there. So, let's see what I can do about this here. Let's see. Oh, wait. Whoa! That's disembodied head. There you go. It's a disembodied head. Whoa! Yeah. Or I could just kind of vanish into the ether. All right. Well, good enough of that. All right, let's see. Red Falcon Run uses Windows because he is a game developer. Well, I just got to keep up toss at the same time. Yep. Pay like $10, $15 more to bring it home today. Okay. Yeah, that's the thing. You know, I use LibreOffice before. I know most stuff I need to get myself. So self-hosted email soon. Yep. That's what I do. Use shoot when having lunch at a tertiary institute here and there. They escort me home. Use the word shoot when having lunch at a tertiary institute here, and they escorted me home and off the program. Oh my God. That is, I mean, that is the insanity of this world right now. Holy insanity, Batman. Dad said I'm paranoid and that I need to get off the internet. Biggest Apple fanboy. Sadly, I can't stay. I need to go to work. Well, see you later, Alice. I just realized I turned 35 in February. Uh-oh. Not hiring someone to do my work, just uses fake college essay to mess up Microsoft data. Yeah, you can always do that. Gonna take Trump's job. There you go. Yeah, that's Tom. Misses the screenshot. What programs do I use? For what? What programs are used for what? Hold on, I'll be right back. All right, well, never mind. I'm not going to be right back. I'm going to stick around here. We're going to go ahead and feed the kitty, and then we'll kind of hang out and chat as long as there's a discussion going back and forth. Aw, kitty. You know what time it is, don't you? You know what time it is. He's like, dude, the camera's pointed at me. I know exactly what time it is, yo. It is the time. The time. Dun, dun, dun. Oh, kitty, kitty. All right. There you go. Go on. You can get it. You can do it. You can do it. Go on. You got it. Go on. Go on, buddy. Go on. There you go. Oh, you got a bunch. Stop, give me that. He's like, dude, I'm stealing more. I'm stealing a bunch. Are they finger licking good, buddy? Are they finger licking good? Yeah. Apparently they're finger licking good. All right. All right, let's see. 35, I wish. Everything. Dude, I can't tell you what programs I use for everything. There's like too many things I do. Let's see. Authoring. I use LibreOffice, Sigil, Calibri, GIMP, web design. On Linux, I'll use Bluefish, GIMP, FileZilla. Windows, I'll use FileZilla, Photoshop, Dreamweaver, because I have site licenses for those. Obviously web browsers, Firefox, WaterFox, Chromium. I use Skype, unfortunately, because I have to with several of my clients and things. Let's see, what else is installed over here? Obviously, VirtualBox, lots of LibreOffice. Inkscape every now and again. Oh, Scribus to do the recipes. I use Blender. Audacity gets used for podcast type stuff. VLC if I need to fix a video file. Yeah, and there's probably a bunch more programs out there somewhere too. So here, kitty, kitty, kitty. Matthew M, really? I thought I taught Booty Cat. Chrome 6.9 looks ugly. Used to like Material Design, but they've ruined Gmail, Drive, and now Chrome. Yep. Except new YouTube Studio sucks. Yep. I did. I T-tap, putty tat. 3ds Max, Substance Painter, Unreal Engine 4, along with Photoshop. Speaker of the House, what's his name? Paul Ryan is about my age, not much older. Yeah, 38-ish. Okay, the Linux YouTubers, Ghost67 made a video. He uses the streaming service that shall not be named. Wahaha. iPhone 10's Max is a stupid name. Shall not be named out of respect, but it is the streaming service owned by Amazon. And it sounds like a witch. He turned me into a witch. Right, Kitty? Right, Kitty? Yeah? Oh, you like that, don't you? Yes, you do. He's got the tongue thing going. He's got the tongue thing going. You're on top chat, not live chat. I probably am on top chat. Currently boycotting Amazon. They don't need my money. I go somewhere else. WaterFox better than my normal Firefox. Technical question. Manjaro removed AUR. MS fonts are not in the repositories anymore. How can you install it? MS fonts. Wait, did Manjaro remove Arch user repository? I know it's not enabled by default, but I don't think they removed it. See if there's the option to turn it back on. Maybe they did remove it. Can anybody confirm? Did Manjaro remove it? All right. How do you install MS Core fonts? See if it should be available in Pack Manager. I think it's is it MS? I forget. You have to look up what the name of it is. Okay. Okay, well, the exe is not going to help you. If you can manually download the package of them, just drop them in .fonts in your home folder. Otherwise, it is packages ttf-ms-fonts. I think that's it. So, what is it? Sudo dash, is it sy? I forget, Pacman. However you install an application. Just use that. I think that's what you need. If you can just download a copy of the fonts, you can just manually drop them into there. Or if you have access to a Windows folder, just grab the fonts that you need out of the Windows folder, or manually copy them over and drop them in .fonts in your home directory. That should do it. Eyes are looking like ocean blue. That's scary. Are those contacts? No, these are my real eyes. No idea what's owned by Amazon. Yes, it is. That's pretty normal, actually. Fix my gamma. I don't want to fix my gamma. I want to look crazy. Okay, that is a little crazy. All right, now I see that on a bigger blue. That is a little crazy, yeah. All right, let's see. Actually, I think it's just hue shift. There, we can go black and white. That's what it is. It's too much. It's too much saturation. I'm of the dark world. No. All right, I think that's good there. All right. Like Linux 19 looks really good. Yep. Ocular is good replacement for Adobe Acrobat. I honestly like it better than Acrobat because unlike Acrobat, it actually zooms the page properly. There you go. Did they get rid of it? Really? Like I said, it wasn't not installed by default, but I don't know. Have you ran hybrid graphic systems? If so, any recommendations? No, I've not. Manjaro dropped AUR. That's a deal breaker. Sticking with Arch. Will install Manjaro and see for myself though. Hello, Maverick. Greetings. Not considered safe enough. I mean, I can understand that. I can actually understand that because there was a lot of problems there, but that is wow. That is wow. That would actually probably kick Manjaro off. I don't know. I'd have to see though. It's one or two applications I think I pulled from that last time I ran Manjaro, but I'll have to play with it a little bit. I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, Noah, we should do a stream together. Maybe we will eventually. The problem is my brother and I are complete opposites. I keep my show family friendly. If you ever watch his, it is not family friendly. So I have to put a big old, this is not a family friendly show on my banner if we did one together. So I don't know. Yeah, we've done, I thought we did one. We might have done two, but I think we've done one together. I know we did one. Manjaro brought the power of Arch user repository to the average user. They got rid of that to expected to drop on DistroWatch. Linux Mint work good with NVIDIA graphics. There is some specific, there's some very specific things you need to do with NVIDIA with Linux Mint 19. Check out their release notes and you will find the information on that. So that's kind of what I have to say about that. Manjaro's not safe enough since they wait a week or more to send out updates. Dude, I wait 6 months or more to install updates, so that's no problem. All right. Well, we'll kind of drive in this train home here. So as we drive the train home, I'll remind you can check out my website. Think Life Media is my personal. This is my personal subscriber-based system. If you want to follow all of my channels, have a look at thinklifemedia.com. So the Christian channel updates. Of course, we released the cheese cracker recipe on Home Cooking Hacks. Take a look at that. If you did not figure out what the secret to slaw talk is, you have to watch that to figure out. I do have a schedule over here. I should update that pretty soon. Also, you can check me out over on Patreon, patreon.com/TomM, T-O-M-M. Anybody that follows me as a subscriber on Patreon, you can request your Think Life Media login if you want that over there as well. And don't forget, you can pick up some Switch to Linux swag and things like this mouse pad available, coffee cups, t-shirts, things like that. Shop.switchtolinux.com. And we also have the main support page at switchtolinux.com/support. All right. I think we're going to go ahead and wrap this one up. So have yourself a wonderful afternoon, everybody. We will be streaming tomorrow, probably be somewhere between 12 and 1 is my guess. I don't know exactly when or what exactly we will talk about, but we'll do some crazy unplanned live stream tomorrow. We will see you guys then and have yourselves a wonderful evening.